Greg, obviously it's another year for the Bonnabel Bruins, and clearly I know it's always about attrition and having the numbers that you want to survive playing a 5A schedule. And talk about your numbers first and foremost.
Numbers are pretty good this year. We're in the low 60s, which is good for us, but a lot of returners. Maybe not starters, but kids that have been in the program a few years, which is really going to help us now. We're really starting to turn that corner.
From the standpoint of schedule, of course, you start off with a blockbuster in East Jefferson, 35th anniversary of the game, and something you're really close to because you played at Bonnabel back in the day. Even though it's not a district game, how special is that?
It's always a special game. I mean, it's a rival game. It carries a lot of meaning to the kids. Everybody knows each other on each side of the field. Big ball game. Nice way to start off your season if you win, and if you don't, it's tough because there's so much put into that first ball game.
I was going to ask you that. The carryover seems to be massive either way each year.
It is. It's tough. So, but then you put all your eggs in one basket and it doesn't go your way. It makes for a tough rest of the season. So you really got to find a nice balance when you're working that game, but it is a huge ball game.
Do the kids understand the history that one school came out of another and about the rivalry itself?
They understand the rivalry, but the history is not quite there yet. They don't understand that one came from the other, but they do know the rivalry that the two schools have with each other, yes.
In terms of your team this year, talk about your ability to compete with the better teams in the league, the West Bank teams, obviously.
I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be able to compete. I mean, we've pretty much, you go 1-9 and you got to rethink everything. We've pretty much turned over everywhere. New offense, new defense, new approach to how we practice, how we do everything, how we get on and off the bus. I sat down after the season, hired some fresh faces and coaches, and still had some returning guys, but we sat down and said, let's turn this thing over, and we've done that, and we feel really good where we are right now.
And you can point to successes in the past at Bonnabel from back in the 70s, obviously, and Mike Villamoret in the 80s, and even Larry had a couple of good seasons. Vic was there for a year. Obviously, there have been some things that you can point to for these kids to help them understand. Skip Gold Ring as well.
Yeah, well, I go all the way back to Skip. Yeah. So I start with Skip, went through with Mike. We've had plenty of successes over the years. It's keeping that level, and that happens with attrition. We cycle sometimes and have low senior numbers, and kids get lost. Yeah, we definitely know about our successes. We tell the kids about it, and we're doing everything we can to be back there again.
Finally, just a couple of players that we should be watching for in 2010 at Bonnabel.
Sure. Defensively, a couple of real good kids you should watch. Defensive lineman Mitchell Ruffin. Real good defensive lineman. I think he's going to have a breakout year for him. He's a junior. Linebacker Wallace Payton stepping into a starting role for the first year. He's a sophomore. And in my secondary, real good-looking safety named Arthur Millette. On the offensive side of the ball, it's all going to start with my quarterback, Ryan Evans. He's going to be a third-year starter. He's a junior. Bobby Porter, 4-year starter at lineman. I mean, he would be the poster child for starting a program. Bobby Porter would be. So those two guys on offense, and my wide receiver Robert Horton, I think, is the other kid you need to look for at us. We're real excited about.
Coach Lingle, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Best of luck to the Bruins in 2010.
Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate it.